Hi, hello everyone. So last time we left off with our pedal gameplay. And for this time, what I want to do is kind of have a split screen so that you can play with friend or whoever you want to. So it's actually not that hard. So what we're going to do is relatively simple. We're just going to render first half of game. We're going to render basically from red or blue pedal, doesn't matter which one. We're going to render some camera behind the pedal, and we're going to render it in top of the screen, so for this pedal, and then we can render bottom part for this pedal, and we're just going to place camera somewhere behind the pedal, so it's going to look basically something like this. We're just going to place camera somewhere over here, and then it's looking here, and then the other one is looking somewhere over here, right, towards this panel. So how do we do split screen? Well, it's actually very simple. It's not complicated at all. First of all, we're going to need to set up camera, and then we're going to need set up path. And the path for the split screen, it just means we kind of render top half of the screen and render everything, and then we render the second time with the bottom part of the screen. So let's get started with that. So the first and probably the easiest step is we just need to set up those cameras. So I'm just going to clean this up. You don't have to do it. Maybe you cleaned it up already. I have these leftovers, but whatever. So let's get started. And I'm just going to zoom in a bit so that you can see what's going on. So somewhere here, I want to find where I defined the camera. And it is right here. So we're going to have a new camera, and so I'm just going to call it player 1 camera. So new camera device, this is fine. We're going to leave this all. So so what do we want to do? We want to place it somewhere behind the pedal. So I think some good position would be in vector 3 and then -16 maybe. So x is -16 somewhere over here, and then height is 0, so y is going to be 0. And if you remember how we rendered, so if we have here 3 axes, right? Here we had y, x, and then z, and the negative z, right? Z. So basically we kind of need to, so basically this means that our floor is somewhere towards the positive z, and the pedal is somewhere more to the negative side, right? Or at 0. I think we kept it at 0, the pedal, and you can see the camera is -20. So basically what we need to do is maybe place that camera to some position that's something like -4 maybe, just to be above the pedal. So if we take a look at the floor somewhere, so floor we didn't change, position X. Where are the pedals? Actually it's defined it floor. Alright, so but basically we just want to be above the pedal, so -4 is good. And then do I need anything else? I don't think I even need anything else, and you can already see it's here. So we have this problem, and the solution for it is, it's quite simple. It's just we have to rotate our camera. So how do we rotate it? Well, we just need to set, so basically, let me clean this up. So what we have here is basically, so now z is in this direction, or negative z, and positive z is in this direction, and then x and y are somewhere over here. I don't even know, I'm confused by this rotation, but basically we just need to define up a vector for our camera, and that's how we can rotate it. And it's just going to be not 1, it's going to be -1. And you can see now that it's fixed. It's complaining though, because here I think it needs to be public. We could set it though, no problem there. So yeah, very easy. We just rotated our camera a bit, and we're behind the red pedal. So let me just move them. We're all good. So here we have some light, that's fine. Okay, so we can actually do the same for the player 2 camera. You don't have to use it, and it's just going to be at 16. Everything else remains the same. So going further, well, we're actually going to need 2 pipelines, I believe, to be actually able to render those objects. So let me see my notes. I think I did it with 2 pipelines. Yes, I did. So basically, when we render scene over here, you can see here in draw method, if I go here, we had pipeline, and this pipeline is already used in a scene pass. Since we're actually going to need second pipeline, it's actually everything is going to be in a single pass. It's just that we're going to render twice, one for the top portion and one for the bottom portion. So here what I actually want to do is, and I'm just going to do it for a pedal, and then we can figure it out later for ball and floor. I'm just going to say pipeline 2, render pipeline. All right, and then here we're in our pedal. It's here. So I'm just going to copy paste it as usual, very lazy. So we can render it here. That's quite all right. And we're going to have to modify our pipeline a bit, because right now it takes camera in, but we're going to need to pass second camera. We're going to figure that one out. It's not that hard. So we're just going to have here public draw second, and we can just say pipeline 2, that's fine. So we now have 2 methods. So just in our pipeline we have to handle this camera case. So let me check this out. So no, I'm in wrong class. So we need to check our render pipeline. So here we might need to do some refactoring. So we kind of need to expose camera so that we can set it, and right now we just set it here. So I'm just going to rename this. You can do this, rename, and just say camera, and then I'm going to make it private so that we have a reference to it. And then we actually kind of need to do same for the shadow camera. Or do we need? Nah, I don't think we don't need it. We don't need it for the shadow camera. That's fine. That's fine. So here we have private, and then I'm just going to set public, set camera. First of all, we're going to set this local variable, and then we kind of need to do something similar to this texture tiling buffer. So actually here we're just going to need to create new material bind group. So we can say if this camera does not equal camera. So if they're not equal, so we don't have to create that group every time when we assign something. So let's find it. Let's find this group that we had defined. So vertex group layout, projection view group layout, and I said to do here rename. So I'm going to do it like this. Cameras view group layout. I'm going to rename it, and then it's going to be private, and I'm just going to underscore it. I'm going to fix that later, but here we can just take this, and where did we have these layouts defined? Here. So we can just say here. All right, it's defined now. Let's see further what we're going to need to do. So this layout we have for the camera. So we have this material, we don't care about it. Lights don't care about it. So we have to change it here. And I'm going to do a cleanup a bit later in this series, or maybe I'm just going to push it code and let you know. But let's see further. We had this render pipeline, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And then we had somewhere we were creating these bind groups, and it's right here. And I'm just going to rename it as well. Cameras view bind group. And here I'm actually going to do something a bit different. This create cameras view bind group doesn't take any parameters, so we're going to create that method. So I'm just going to copy paste all of this. We can get rid of this then. So we're going to have a new method here, and I'm just going to do it here. So I'm just going to paste this here and make this a method. And then we're just going to paste it into the method. So we can say this camera here as well dot, and here as well dot. And I'm just going to rename this to shadow camera. I'm going to do that bit later, but then we have device. Actually, I'm going to do this lowercases with this underscore before as well, just so that we know that it's private. So basically, I'm going to zoom out a bit. This is a bit too much. So basically, we're going to have this create cameras view bind group method, and we're doing it because we need to call it. We need to call it when we set up a new camera, and you're going to see why I'm doing that. It's because here we're pasting this in, but I actually want to have a setter for it, so that's the only reason why. And then I'm going to rename this as well. I'm just going to place here underscore, and then I'm just going to say private. And since I'm doing that, I can do this a bit so that it's easier to see. All right, we have that. So everything works. And so here I have player one camera, but I changed actually original one, so we want to change this one, right? And then same for the player two camera. Okay, now we're back to original one. So what I actually want to do here is following. We're just going to say pedal one dot pipeline dot camera is player one camera, and then pedal one dot pipeline two dot camera is player two camera. So we can have that. I'm just going to make spaces here. Then I'm just going to copy paste it lazily as always. Pipeline pedal 2. Let me just think a bit. What am I doing? So I don't see pedals anymore. That's quite alright. So I think this should be reversed at least here. Actually, let's render, and then we're going to fix issues as they pop up. Okay, so how is it going to look like? Well, I'm just going to copy scene pass, and I'm going to call it split screen pass. Screen pass. So what do we need here? Well, basically, like I mentioned, we just want to draw to the top region. And how can we do that? Well, it's very easy. It's super easy. So we're just going to render pass encoder, set viewport, and then we actually want to set it to canvas width, but canvas height we just want to divide it over 2. It's complaining because we need to pass near and far variables as well. And that's it, I think, for now. So just here we're going to say scene pass. Sorry, not scene pass. We're going to say split screen pass. And you can already see it kind of works. There is one small issue here. Let's check what it is. So let's change floor as well, because I think we're blocked by the floor here. So we're just going to have public pipeline 2 here. Then we're going to have here this pipeline 2. And what did I call it? I called it draw second. So let's go to our floor. Draw second. And then we just need to assign it. Let's go back here, find somewhere where the floor is. And it's here. So we can say floor pipeline camera, player 1 camera, and then floor pipeline 2 is player 2 camera. And I don't see anything, weirdly enough, and now I realize why, because we never updated those cameras. So I just need to update it. And then you can see it here, kind of works. The ball is wrong, we're going to fix that. But let's just figure out that second part of the split screen. So basically we have this. Now we just have to move our viewport here, and then the canvas height is still over 2, right? Because it's half of the screen. So I'm just going to copy paste this. I'm going to say here, where are we moving to canvas height over 2, right? And then here, I'm just going to copy these guys. And I'm just going to say 0 second. Okay, ball doesn't have it yet. If I save, I don't see anything, which is a bit weird actually. Let me just check that. I think the error is with probably here. Notice that we were setting up shadow texture, and I just need to set it up for pipeline 2 as well. Probably, I'm not sure though. Let's try it. And let's try it here as well. But not like that. Actually, let's try it here as well. Okay, yeah, that was it. We just needed to set up shadow texture as well. That got us here, so we just now have to fix ball, and I think that's very easy. Here we're just going to say pipeline 2. I'm just going to say here pipeline 2. And then we're going to give it a second. Here we just need to assign it to a ball. So what do we need to assign here? I'm just going to make space. Well, we're going to need that shadow texture. And then we're going to need to set up pipeline and pipeline 2. Still don't see it here because I haven't called it, right? Here the second pass, let me just format it. And there we go. So one thing that I need to fix, and you can maybe notice it, but the aspect ratio is a bit weird. So I'm just going to do this canvas height. I'm just going to place it in here and then just divide it by 2, because right now it is like that. So you can see the upper half is correct, while the bottom one is not. So let's do that here as well. Let's just fix that aspect ratio. And okay, we're good. So you can play it with someone, and it really works. So just to recap real quickly, it was very easy to do. We just had to create second pipeline, and then we had to set our viewport to top half, and then basically our viewport to bottom half, and draw twice. So that's how split screen works. Actually, you just draw twice. One limitation that I came up with WebGPU, which isn't there, for example, for metal, is I had to create second pipeline. I couldn't just pass same pipeline. So that's why we created second. I actually wanted just to change parameter on the old pipeline and then draw second time, but looks like there is some limitation. It is what it is. It works. And for the next time, I think, I'm not sure if there will be next time, because mostly it's just cleanup now, right? You have gameplay, you can improve that gameplay, you can do whatever you want. I will do cleanup on this because this code is very messy, and then I'm just going to push code to GitHub. I'm going to let you guys know. So I'm going to probably make one more video, which is going to be sort of metal WebGPU video as well. I just want to cover both at the same time because it's just going to be cleanup. I'm going to let you know on the GitHub, and then we can discuss the next series as well. And that's it for this video. So if you liked it, maybe leave a comment, like, subscribe, and until next time.